Good morning, gardening friends. It's now, let's see, April the 19th, I think, at, let's see, about 10:30, and I got my taxes done and all of that, and I wanted to give you a bit of an update. Actually, the taxes were done a few days ago, but the tomatoes are turning color here. You can see them kind of changing there, and there's a couple of larger ones up there. So that's kind of interesting, although now I'm looking at my plant and I'm just noticing today that it seems like it's too top heavy, so I'm going to have to give it additional support up above. The lettuce has gone completely crazy, which is good. I've actually harvested quite a bit of it, and that's what it still looks like after. Kind of pan along and let you see the rest of things, so you can kind of see what it looks like on the patio. That's pretty much it for the patio. I wanted to record this so I could harvest my tomatoes and enjoy them. And we'll go see what it looks like outside the patio. Okay, so it's a little bit later, and I haven't done a whole lot in terms of transplant or anything like that, but today is fertilizer day, so they've got a bit of fertilizer. And this one here, which was almost empty, I've now thrown in the remainder of my packet of mixed flowers, some of my snapdragon seeds, and I just threw in some random beans in there too, just in case none of the flowers take off. At least I'll get something. So that's that, and this one's just kind of filled with random flowers, which is what kind of inspired me to do that over here. At least we'll give it a shot before we decide to just destroy these things and put regular pots back. So I think that's pretty much it for today, because there's not a whole lot more that's changed around here. Good afternoon, gardening friends. It's now May the 28th, Sunday, at just past noon, and I've been away for a week. Let me give you a little look at something that I spotted while I was away. Good afternoon, gardening friends. I'm out of town again, so this is another little bit of a remote. I wanted to show you where I'm working. There is a garden, and we've got, well, let's see if we can identify. They actually put up some nice little tags. So we've got beets, which I think is what we've got over there. We've got kale right in here. We've got Swiss chard in here. And the thing I've always kind of wanted to grow, the last time you actually saw something like that, they're growing artichokes. Boy, I'm jealous. I wish I had the kind of room to do this. I might actually take those big planters and see if I can do this, but anyway, it was just kind of cool to see them. It's the first time I've actually seen artichokes growing rather than just picked. So that's it for this little segment. So now let's take a look at how the garden looks around here. Since I was gone for a week, I did have some people helping me out with watering plants, and you're kind of seeing this almost just as I am. The tomato plant's doing nicely. I don't know how well you can see. I've got a number of ripened tomatoes here. I got some larger ones up above, which are starting to turn. They're not quite as big as I was expecting, but maybe it's because the plant's kind of overproducing. I'm hoping that once I pick some of these off and enjoy them, that it'll start putting more energy into making some of these bigger. There's quite a few of them in there. In fact, there's one, I really don't know how well I'm able to show this to you. Just above and to the right of the cluster of red there towards the center. There's a much bigger one than those. So anyway, that's the tomato plant. The lettuce seems to be doing okay in general. And unfortunately the butter crunch is really kind of messed up there, but we'll see what we can do with it. Look at the melon patch. They're getting bigger. Well, one of them is getting bigger. And let's run across. The nasturtium is doing nicely with a couple of flowers there. Not a whole lot of progress on other things, but one of the neighbors pointed out that something started growing. I'm not really seeing what she was saying, but actually the yellow pear tomato is getting nice and big, so I'm happy about that. Everything else kind of doing okay, except the snapdragons. Sorry about that, I'm getting caught on my camera. Snapdragons are pretty much gone. That's pretty much the update inside. Let's take a look outside. So looking at the plants around the office, the Lilies are still alive, although this one's not doing quite as well as that one. In the nursery, ooh, not so good. Some things are still alive, and we'll see what we can do with them. The big flowering bush is just a bunch of twigs, so that's not doing much, but that was kind of going before. We'll leave it and we'll keep watering it and we'll see what happens. Coming around here, let's see, there was nothing much in there. I need to do a transplant there. The basil hasn't popped yet. What are these? Vines of some sort. Not quite doing, there's no real difference there. The nasturtiums that were up here, they're still going, so that's good. Not a lot of flowers, but they're still alive. Our red tree thing is okay. Not much change in the Nandina. And the Nandina in front of the ops has a couple of flowers. It looks like they're kind of going by. And they're getting a little fringe around there, but I'll give them some water and some fertilizer and that'll help. Then we have the Nandinas on the back side. You can see that, not the Nandinas, the nasturtiums, sorry. And you can see they're growing pretty well, and actually I'd picked a major section off of this one because it was growing down. I'm going to have to pick another major section off of it or clip it off, but still growing beautifully. Coming around here, oh by the way, I had showed you a few weeks ago what the, what's this one called? I'll come back to it in a minute, but it was just tiny little buds, and it only took like 2 weeks for this thing to fill in, so it's pretty amazing. I'll give you the name when I think of it. Let's see, more nasturtium, still doing nicely, some different colors. You can see some flowers have come and gone. We got more nasturtium here, and we got some red up above, and some, see, so that's cherry rose jewel at the top. That would be the peach melba at the bottom. There's actually 2 plants in there, just one is dropped lower than the other. Coming around, we can look at what we got here. Ground cover's doing okay, still alive. Everything else is pretty much still alive. Then we get to the big planter here where I planted a bunch of seeds, and there's nothing happening there. Maybe it didn't get any water. Not such a bad thing since I'm actually considering artichokes. So I might actually use this planter to plant the artichokes. And just a bunch of wildflowers in here. So that's it for the south end. Let's go look at the north. Okay, so the elephant ears aren't doing so good. I've given them fertilizer, but I think there's more elephant ears where I got them. I think what they probably need is more water and maybe a little bit more sun. I'll have to try and figure out what I can put in here. But that's those. And I didn't ask anybody specifically to water on this end. This plant's still alive. This is a nasturtium that's pretty much dead at this point. I don't see any more green, so we'll replant that. See what else we got over here. All of these are doing nicely. And the nasturtium here is really kind of hurting for water, so we'll give it a good soak today. Everything else seems to be doing okay. So that's pretty much it for the update. We'll do a little bit of work, and maybe I'll get back to it tomorrow, or I may just post a very short episode. Hey folks, back at my parents' place again. Just wanted to give you a quick shot of what the front flower bed looks like when it goes into bloom. This is a carpet of flowers. It's just amazing. So hopefully this is coming through on the cell phone. I'll try and take a still.